Hello, everybody. Joe Bag of Donuts here, and welcome back for another episode of Utawarerumono Mask of Truth, where last time we left off, beat off Decapompo, and for once and for all, finally got his ass. Dude is dead. He got munched on by a big old thingamabob. Yeah, a big scary monster, which is just hanging around now, I guess. We beat it up enough that it just decided, I'll go eat something else, and then it left. Which seems bad in the long term because we're gonna have to deal with that eventually, right? Like, if that thing just decides to make a lair, nest up in like the cliff sides around here, that's gonna be a long-term issue. So who knows? Maybe we'll get a bonus mission where we go out and we kill the thing. But the important thing is Decapompo dead. His little expeditionary force wiped out. On the downside, though, we were a little too effective in our methods because we kind of scared Madodo, who the double whammy of that on top of finding out Haku is dead. He's like, I don't even want to fucking be here anymore. I'm just going home. And that's exactly what he did. He went home. So, unfortunately, no Madodo for the time being. We may have to contend with him later, which would be unfortunate, but we'll do that when we get around to it. I'm honestly thinking I might change what shift I'm on at work if I can, I got a couple favors saved up that I can, kind of pull some strings here and there because this night shift stuff, it's starting to get to me. Not like, I don't know, it's not terrible. It's just for the weekend, I think it's bad. Because how it works is my work week, it starts Sunday. But really, it's the first shift of Monday because it's supposed to be like midnight to 8, but we get in like half an hour early, so really we come in at 11:30 Sunday and get off, on paper around 7:30 in the morning. However, the past like 3 weeks, I've worked late every single goddamn day of the week. So much for that. But that makes it so my week ends Friday morning. However, that means I'll just sleep away the entire day on Friday. And it's like I wake up, it's like 4 in the morning, and it's like, all right, I slept in, but I can't stay up too late. And too late is like past noon because I need to sleep, because I got to go into work at midnight. But really, that means I have to get up around like 2 hours early because, I got to shower, shave, get dressed, drive, go eat, all that fun stuff. No. And because I'm a supervisor, I need to show up even earlier to get the turnover from the previous shift. So, really, it's like, if I, like, go to bed later than noon, I end up, like, fucking myself over on Sunday, which is today, which is exactly what I'm going to do because it's, like, 10 o'clock right now. I'm rambling and going in circles, and it only makes sense to me because I know what I'm talking about, but everyone else should probably just skip through this, in which case I would probably do the exact same thing. But the long and short of it is, because of the way the staggered days go, it really only feels like I get, like, a day off of, like, actual, like, me time on the weekend. Because Friday is like the first day of my weekend, which is essentially a wash, it feels like, because I just spend the entire day asleep, and if I do get up and do something, it's not very much. Then Saturday is fine, and then Sunday is today, and really, I woke up at like 2 in the morning, it's 10, I've been up for 8 hours, and then I'm going to go right back to bed. So it's like, I only get a third of my day to me before I need to like reset it and get it ready for work. So, womp womp, sad world's smallest violin for me. So I might go to like the afternoon shift, work from the afternoon to midnight. Because with that one, you can go to sleep when you get home. You can stay up for a couple hours. You can wake up without an alarm clock. And it's just kind of better all arounder. I do like the night shift though. It's mainly because I like the dark. I like the cold. There's not many people at work or on shift in general because it's the night shift, so it's a lot chiller. I say that until, the work piles up, and all of a sudden it's like, oh fuck, I only have like 2 other people to do this with compared to like the 10 the day shift has. who somehow managed to get less work done than us, which is one of those things where, you know, it's always your shift that does the most work, and everyone else are a bunch of lazy, incompetent bums until, you know, you're on that shift and it's like, oh, well, there was nothing we could have done about that. Circumstances prevented us from getting around to it entirely reasonable. You know, once the shoe's on the other foot, it's kind of like, eh. So I don't say anything. I don't try to instigate those shift wars, because it's not very good when you're the one messing up and it's like, whoops. And it's not your fault, but people feel like you should have done stuff anyway that you couldn't have done, and it's like, yeah. Just don't think about it too much. Like, let bygones be bygones. You know, shit happens. Don't get your panties in a tizzy. Anyway, that has nothing to do with what's going on right now in game. After I skipped through half the event, because it looks like once you save in in like a scene here, kind of an in-game, I wouldn't really call this a cutscene, but you know what I mean. An event, it reloads you all the way back at the beginning of that event, so I had to skip forward. Like, it wasn't a lot, like maybe a minute, but if it wasn't for the little thing telling you which line of dialogue you saved at, I would have been lost, and we probably would have started all over again, because I wouldn't want to have skipped anything. But we managed to avoid that. Anyway, let's get going, shall we? I hurry as quickly as my exhausted feet can take me, climbing to the top of the walls once more. The army in question stands at a far more tactical distance than Decapompo's, all at a bow shot.
姉上やキュールさんならともかく、波の腕ではまともに矢が届きませんね。動きはありません。まるで何かを待っているかのように。
Just menacing.
ずっとあのままです。
Might wanna like knock over the siege tower, yeah?
一体どういうつもりだ。やはり定石通り。しかし。 I
mean, not really. They got like a couple dozen. As I stare at the new arrivals, trying to puzzle out their intent, movement in the ranks grabs my attention. Two figures on waterback, one bearing aloft an enormous white flag, break from the pack and ride forward. Mikazuchi come to hang out? Yep. Hello.
なんじゃと三日月にそういないのか。間違いなく三日月様です。では私たちに交流するために。三日月、左近とはのっちゃん、さっちゃんと呼び合った仲だぞ。
Nosy and Satch. Great nicknames.
この友の危機に駆けつけてくれたに違いない。
左近へ大将三日月といえば、目つきは悪いが忠義に熱い男ですから。
ま、本物の王女を見間違える男じゃないじゃない。う
ちは一度戦ってみたかったけど。
You guys can have a spark session.
仕方ないね。三日月様。
兄上、早く三日月様を出迎えに参りましょう。
Let's yell down from, you know, atop the walls for now until we, you know, ascertain his intent. As Kyudo heads towards the hidden passage that leads beyond the gates, I grab him by the arm, stopping him in his tracks. He fixes me with a confused look.
兄上。
皆はここで待機していてくれ。
は？
ことが済むまで何人たりとも城門を通すな。
それは一体どういう？
ついてく。主様だけを行かせるわけには参りません。
いや、お前たちも来てはならぬ。これは命令だ。守れぬなら、猫ね、正常を。 皆を頼む。
兄様。
I give no heed to Nekane's call as I stride out to meet our visitor.
三日月。いつかは 来ると思っていたぞ。
Yeah, he might be able to see through the ruse.
待たせたな、三日月。
オシュトル。
Mikazuchi hands the white flag to the officer accompanying him. Tense silence fills the air.
覚えているか、あの日のことを。我らが帝よりこの絵の大将を賜りし日のことを。あの時帝は我らに民と、そして姫殿下の守護をお命じになった。そのお言葉、その願い、この胸に深く刻まれている。
Mikazuchi clenches a fist, laying it over his chest in a symbolic gesture. Silence reigns afresh, and Mikazuchi is the first to break it, calling out my name.
オシュトルよ、貴様らはここで静かに息を潜めて生きよ。俺はお隠れになった正常の命により民を守らねばならん。
Are you gonna take over the fight?
故に帝都に攻め上がる者は全て撃ち滅ぼす。
No.
それが何者であってもだ。
Making sure that we have an understanding.
声を上げぬなら死んだも同じ。死人に都は責められぬ。だがもしその声を上げるのならば、
Mikazuchi brandishes his massive blade, leveling it at me.
俺のなすべきことは言った。オシュトル、貴様はどうなのだ。その胸に問いかけよ。
なんや決闘前みたいな雰囲気。
Nah. He's just
こい
puffing
つ
out
は
his
ちょ
chest.
っとやばいんじゃない？
姫殿下。
Well, great job at stopping her, Nekane.
姫殿下。待つのじゃ三日月、待つのじゃ。
ん？正常。いけますね、お戻りを。
I mean, it might help clear some stuff up.
戻らぬ。世にはこの口で言わねばならぬ
You
こ
know,
と
at
が
least to
ある。
him anyway. Be like, oh yeah, that's the real one for sure. Like, it's no rouge from Oshtor's part. Seeing Anju appear from the false boulder over the tunnel's entrance, Mikazuchi abruptly kneels, murderous aura evaporating instantly.
姫殿下、お久しゅうございます。
今さらそのようなほうけた挨拶など聞きとうないわ。どういうつもりじゃ、三日月。よもや貴様ほどのもの
No.
が
It's that
この
the,
玉座に
you
座
know,
っておる偽
piece of the
物は
land is
本
more
物だと思
important
ってい
to
るの
him.
ではなかろうな。
It's like, if they need to live a lie, then so be it.
答えよ、三日月。
あれは姫殿下の衣をまとっておりますゆえ、遠目やすだれ越しにはそれらしく見えましょう。しかし日頃より姫殿下のご尊顔を拝謁している身なれば、まるで似ても似つかぬ偽物。
Okay, so it's like, not a clone? Unless you mean, like, how she carries herself, her face?
我らが家臣団であれが姫殿下に見えるというものは、ブルタンタの目と交換するべきでしょう
Gross.
な。
You get an infection.
ならば何故世にけ。
それがお父上であらせられる帝の勅命であるがゆえに、正常は我らこの絵にお命じになった。一つは娘を、姫殿下をお守りしろと。
And by trying to reclaim your throne, you put yourself in danger. Yada
そし
yada
ても
yada.
う一つは、あらゆる災いから大和の民を守れと。
Yeah, so if you look at it
そう
from his
直々にお命じ
perspective,
になられたのだ。
you know, you going on the offensive or even like pressing the issue at all is unacceptable.
我が命は正常に捧げし者。 たとえ正常がお隠れになられても変わりません。帝都民を守ることこそが我が使命。向こうの民の血にてこの大和の大地がまみれるなど
Well,
未
look
来
around,
永
bud.
劫あってはならぬ。
Sure, it may have just been like Decapompo and like his ilk, but you've already failed.
民の血が流され得られるものにいかほどの価値があろうか。幸い姫殿下にはオシュトルがおりますゆえ、オシュトルであれば姫殿下をいかなる最悪からも守りましょう。
Yep, so just live out your life in peace up here and
お隠れになっ
don't
た
gotta
正
worry
常
about
の
anything.
勅命の一つは必ずや果たされます。ならば我は帝都に残り民を守るという勅命を果たすまで。
Yep, just let bygones be bygones and
ゆえに
just kind of have an uncomfortable truce stalemate thing where you just pretend the other
帝都
doesn't
に攻
exist.
め入るというのであれば亡き正常の命により撃たねばなりませぬ。何とぞそのような無体をなさらぬようお願いも。
三日月、そなた。
ここで静かに余生を送りなさいませ。
Yeah, become like a potato farmer.
何とぞ
Like it'll kill your back, but at least
Nanitozo.
you'll get all your vitamins and nutrients. Anju wavers. Mikazuchi's earnest plea catches her off guard.
王女さん。
Turning to Anju, awaiting her answer. Or I turn to Anju, awaiting her answer. Her whole head trembles as she tries to conjure the words, on the verge of tears.
じゃやだ、
正常。
それは嫌じゃ。世はアンジュ、世はヤマトの王女、そしてヤマトの次なる帝じゃ。
Mm-hmm.
さようですか。
Mikazuchi whispers almost to himself as he rises.
正常がお隠れになりこの大和は二つに割れてしまった。それがなぜか分かっておいでか。
I don't know, because Varai and Raiko suck.
それ
その様子
I guess Woshi's too.
姫殿下の未熟と弱さゆえにと学ば
But he's a lot more diplomatic about it, so I'm less inclined to pin the blame on him, but he's an issue.
ならば今さら帝都に上がったところでいたずらに混乱を招くことも
He
分
was
かって
also
おい
right
で
about
の
that.
はず。
Anju's like kind of bad at being the, heir apparent. The crown princess, and I guess
アンジュなのじゃ。
disputed Mikado now?
この名はお父上からいただいた
Since they kind
た
of
った
hand
一
wave
つだけ残された最
all
後のも
the,
の。
formalities for the other one and being like, yep, they're crowned. All right, let's go. Back to business as usual.
この名だけは絶対に渡さぬ。それがそんなに悪いというのか。
人は誰しも守りたいものがある。だが力なくば大抵は奪われ蹂躙される。それは姫殿下とて例外ではない。
So, yep, you got strong friends, but you yourself kind of suck.
我はなすべきことをなすまで力ずくでもこの地で陰性していただきましょう。
Mikazuchi turns his sword on Anju.
どうしてもなのか。
Yep.
正常。お下がりを。
I take a decisive step in front of Mikazuchi as he raises his weapon, shielding Anju from the tip of the blade.
オシュトル、まさか貴様と対峙する日が来ようとはな。
三日月、聞いてくれ。それがしたちは
聞いてくれ。いつからそんなめめしいセリフを吐くようになった。
Since we became Haku.
これが最後だ。今一度告げる。貴様らがこの辺境の地でおとなしくしているというのなら
Mm-hmm.
このまま黙って立ち
You
去
know,
れ。
we'll even act as kind of the intermediary, buffer force between you and the others in the capital, I would assume.
だが、
No, stop them from trying anything, because then that'll cause other shit to happen and,
見過ご
just
す
be
わ
a
けには
mess.
いかぬ。ヤマトを乱す逆賊とみなし、この場で断罪する。
三日月。
押しとる。し合うぞ。立ち会え。
What if we just didn't?
これより先、従前の状態で戦えることなどそうあるまい。
You see about that. I'm still nursing my wounds from my life or death battle with Farai.
ならば、ここで決着をつけようぞ。
そうか。ここでオシトルを人柱にすることで
Yeah, that might do
王
it.
女さんの心を折るつもりか。そうなれば互いの兵に無駄な血を流させることなく終わる。ああは言っても王女さんを気にかけているのか。
Well, yeah, of course he is.
猫根の時もそうだったな。
He's just doing what he thinks is best
相
here.
変わらず不器用なことだ。さて、代償とするのは自分の命でなければのんきにしていられたんだが。正常、お下がりよ。お召し物が汚れますゆえ。
We going for it?
押したら
Gonna go give it the old college try?
もはや避けられん。やるしかない。
押したら死ぬな。命令じゃぞ。
見心のままに。
It's an order. Dude, do we at least get a buff?
それでいい。貴様も下がれ。
はい。
Oh yeah, that's right, your little squire boy. I forgot about
し
him.
かし、そうは言ったものの、自分が三日月と戦う。冗談じゃない。万が一にも勝ち
Oh
目
yeah,
があ
like
るもの
turn
か。
into fucking chunky tomato paste, like on the
それ以
spot.
前に剣を合わせればあいつは
Yeah,
確実に
cripes
気づいてしまうだろう。自分が本当のオシトルではないということだが、ここで引くわけにはいかない。あいつはオシトルは絶対にここで引くような男ではないからだ。
Alrighty.
それでいい。
As I step closer, Mikazuchi falls into a low crouch, coiled like a predator ready to spring. But suddenly,
待ってほしいのです、三日月様。
猫ね。
yeah, I can't kill him in front of Nekane. Then she'd feel bad, and then you'd feel bad about it. Nekane, who descended from the walls without my noticing, thrust herself between me and Mikazuchi.
久しいな、猫ね。だが今は下がっていろ。話は後でゆっくり聞いてやる。
いえ、解かないのです。兄様は先だってのブライとの戦いで負った傷が
Yep,
ま
we'll
だ
have
癒
to
えてい
take a
ない
rain check
の
on
で
this
す。
duel to the death.
今はこうして立っているのがやっと、到底試合などできる体ではないのです。そんな状態の兄様を倒したところで、本当に三日月様の勝利と言え
Yes,
るで
yes,
すか？
appeal to his warrior's pride.
猫ね。
兄様、
だが、ここで引くことはできない。この円高無に。
It's like literally all the girls are watching. Like, we can't not do this, Nekane.
猫ね。これは避けては通れぬ道。
ダメなのです。それでは兄様が。
三日月には勝てん。
Nope, not even
どんな
close.
小細工を浪したとしてもどうにもならん。
Dude's like level 50.
あのプライに匹敵すると言われる男にどうやって勝てと。だがせめて 一矢報いることができれば。
Yeah, like, I don't know, throw some pocket sand.
猫ね。以前猫ねは自分の思うように振る舞えばいい。
それはでも
今がその時だ。
でも
猫ね。この後それがしに何があったとしても一
Yeah,
切
we're
の手
we're
出しは
doing
な
man
らない。
things here, Nekune. You need to take a step back.
兄様
三日月の軍勢が相手で
Sometimes men
は
have to do
こちらには万に
stupid
一
things
つも
and
勝ち
get
目は
into
ある
stupid
まい。
fights that don't make any sense for no reason.
その時はそれがしに代わって三日月の命に従うのだ。
報復しろとおっしゃるのですか。
Yeah, if it comes to it.
分かっていよう。三日月は信ずるに足る男。もしもの時は分かるな。
ですが
安心するといい猫ね。それがしは負けぬ。
Yep. That's more to hype yourself up than to, you know, reassure her, but
下がるのだ。
それは
yeah, he's like, what are you gonna do with
なぜ
that?
貴様がそれを。まあいい。些細なことだ。
Mikazuchi takes a stance again, edging slowly towards me, and I adjust to mirror him.
懐かしいな。俺もお前も
Nope.
ただの一兵卒だったあの頃は、
Nope.
こうして毎日のように剣の腕を競い合っていたよな。あれからどれだけの時が過ぎたか。気がつけばお互いに近衛大将の地位にまで上り詰めていた。覚えているな。おしと
Nope.
拝命の時、帝の御
Unless you
前で
mean
誓った言葉を。
The one to protect, you know, Anju and the
我
people.
らは天と地、光と影、常に対となってこの国を、そこに住まう民を守る。俺たちはそう誓った。なのに今、俺と貴様は敵味方に分かれ、互いの守るべきものをかけて戦っている。さあ、貴様の覚悟、見せてもらうぞ。押しとれ。
Mikazuchi aims a kick at the ground, lifts his sword, and begins his assault. I only barely managed to block with the iron fan. Damn, did it punch through, or is it just, you know, clipping? Unable to absorb the entire force of Mikazuchi's blow, I stagger back, feeling my knees shake with each step. Couldn't get a counterattack in, and for some reason, Mikazuchi's just standing there, his face a mask of shock and betrayal.
なんだと。
Mikazuchi stumbles back a step, then two, then three.
三日月、どうした。なぜ下がる。
Then, Mikazuchi fixes a grim, wounded expression on me. What, did your mask fall off?
貴様は
Or is it just, you know, how you blocked? He's like, what the fuck?
もはや数えることもできぬほど、幾度も奴と剣を交えた俺が貴様のそれは
Uh-oh.
断じて奴の立ち筋ではない。
Finally, someone's smart enough to figure it out.
貴様、あれだ。
Mikazuchi aims a sideways swipe at me, which I managed just barely to block. The metal of my fan and his sword screech against each other loudly. Mikazuchi's eyes snap to the fan, realization dawning in his eyes.
その鉄線
Yep.
そうかそういうことかではならば貴様は
Don't say it.
ふざけるな
Bellowing his fury, Mikazuchi raises his sword for another strike, flailing destructively. He's getting haphazard with this technique, but it's still Mikazuchi. It's all I can do to avoid being cut to pieces.
どうしたのじゃオシタル。なぜやり返さんのじゃ。やはり
Yeah, that, totally. For sure.
なぜだなぜ貴様がその悪魔をかぶっているなぜオシトルを名乗っている
You kind of told us to. Well, not really, but it's what we interpreted his will as, so.
答えろ
三日月様。
Nekane leaps in again, latching onto Mikazuchi desperately.
どけ小娘
嫌です。どかないです。先ほども言ったように兄様は怪我をしているのです。どうか剣を引いてくださいです。三日月様。
I mean, he doesn't have a sheath, but I know what you mean.
兄だと貴様もそのようなザレ言
Mikazuchi swings an arm reflexively, knocking Nekane to the ground.
邪魔をするな
Undaunted, Nekane stands and interposes herself between Mikazuchi and Oshtor once more, arms held wide.
どうしてもとおっしゃるのであれば、この猫根を先に切るです。
何
兄様はまだこの国にヤマトに必要な方なのです。今、兄様を失うわけにはいかないのです。
Meeting Nekane's gaze, I know his name. Mikazuchi stares deeply into her eyes and slowly lowers his blade.
そうかそういうことか
Finally cool your head enough to piece it together?
奴は
Mm-hmm.
すでに
What the necessity for such a ruse would be. The hows and the whys.
あれから
Yeah, ow!
どうなった自分はまだ
Hell, you probably got a concussion just from like the reverberation of his sword hitting your fan. You know, kind of turning your brain to jelly inside your skull.
痛いってことはどうやらまだ生きてはいる
Yep.
たくなんだって自分はこんなところでこんなことしているもういいか王女さんは元気になったこの国はだいぶ強くなった
Yeah, someone else can take over, right?
この先は三日月に任せて
ハクあと頼む
Ghost store.
よしとる
Because he's a ghost.
そうだったな そう簡単に休めんよな。
Hey, sometimes you just need to take a nap.
あいつの頼みとあっては。
Go into the supervisor office and turn on the lights and like kick your feet up on the desk and lean back. And try not to snore too loudly.
うん。
兄様。
I staggered to my feet and, while into a slightly shakier version of my stance, fanned forward.
貴様。
三日月。それがしとお前は対なる存在と言ったな。
Yeah, Chiral. I totally know what Chiral means. I hear them say in Death Stranding sometimes, but...
いいだろう。お前が帝の残した帝都を守るというのなら、それがしは帝の残した魂を、聖女をお守りする。
お酒、貴様は
黙れ。それがしは王子とる。
Mm-hmm.
それ以外の何者でもない。そうだ。それがしは王子とる。
Yep, just gotta gaslight
王
yourself.
子とるなのだ。
Fake it till you make it, baby.
力を。意志を。
Hey, your mask ringing again.
それがしは受け継いだのだ。
Yeah, it seems to like it like when you're being like super cool and like stick to your, I don't know, your morals, your oaths, whatever. Without warning, countless, hundreds of tiny pinprick things spear into my skin beneath the mask. Agonizing pain flares through my head. Yeah, that would do it. Nice.
何？
Yeah, pretty cool, huh?
そのお姿どうしておお、なんと美しい。あれがオシトルの隠れてるか。
Yep.
バカな。アクルか。なぜだ。なぜ貴様が。
I don't know, because the mask likes the cut of his jib. And I guess you can't really say anything about it if, you know, it shows him, so to say, about him, like, stealing it. As though watching my body move from underwater. Before I'm even aware of what I'm doing, I feel myself leap forward and bear down on Mikazuchi.
どういうことだ。なぜアクルカの力を引き出せる。貴様、一体アクルカに選ばれし者ということか。
Mm-hmm. Well, I was sure I knew how to pick him.
三日月。
You want to have like a kaiju fight?
我はなるかになり、アクルカよ、無給なる力もて、我に雷神を鎧わせたまえ。
Yours isn't nearly as cool. It looks like a Ben 10 monster. It's too slicking around. Oh, JRPG random encounter. Fade in, let's go. We crash into one another, and the stormy energies, barely contained within our altered bodies, balloon out in a violent surge of light. In one instant, two unstoppable forces push against each other, and in the next, each of us is forced back by the raw power in play. Oh, yep, that's all I could muster. Mikazuchi falls to one knee.
Mikazuchi-sama!
Damn, hit you that hard? Or is it just the, emotional kind of fatigue setting in? Meanwhile, I can barely stand on my feet. If I let myself collapse right now, I don't think I'll be able to get back up.
Ani-sama!
Crying out, Nekane runs to me and quickly tries to hold me up, as though I might blow down in the breeze at any moment. The battle's decided. I can't budge an inch, and if he wanted it, Mikazuchi could probably take my head right now, but... Yeah, he's mulling some things over.
そうか。オシトル。貴様は
三日月。
Mikazuchi stands, glaring daggers at me.
怪我人相手では興ざめというものだ。次に相まみえる時までにその傷を癒しておくがいい。それまでその首預けておくぞ。
Alright, bye. Mikazuchi turns to walk back to his troops. On his way, he calls over his shoulder.
貴様の意志、しかと受け取った。戦場で会おうぞ。オシュトル。さすがはオシュトルよ。あの怪我でこの俺に手傷を負わせようとはな。
Like, well, at least you're, not dishonoring his name, sullying it, so good enough for now.
かしこまりました。
No. They just left.
何だったんだあれは。あれがアクルカの力ってやつなのか。あの三日月様に手傷を負わせたって。
Yeah, Mikazuchi almost killed us.
我々の勝利だ。
With Kiryu's help, I managed to stay standing as everyone comes rushing out the gate.
すごいですよ、兄上。さすがはオシトルだ。私が認めた男だけのことはある。なあなあ、オシトル。
No.
いや、今ばかりは空気読みねえって。
Yeah. The bits run its course.
お前たち。
オシトル。
You gotta find a new bit out, sweet. Maybe one with a little more depth.
正常。
No sooner than I confirmed that Anju's safe, my vision swims, and the world begins to go sideways.
オシトル。
I can feel my muscles giving out, and my body tilts to one side on its way down.
主様。おい、大丈夫か？オシトル様。
Nope.
オシトル、しっかりするのじゃ。オシトル。
Like I said, brain's probably a bit rattled.
オシトル。
デコポンポとボコイなんては廃止。三日月はオシトルを倒せず、
兵を引いたか。
すべては来光様の計画通りに進んでいます。
ガウンジの回収を急がせろ。あれにはまだ使い道がある。
Alright, they'll get it.
すでに檻へと戻し、
I suppose having
調教師が眠らせた
Decapompo
とのこと
die
です
is, just makes his life
闇を
easier.
エンナカムイより移送します。
One less, I was about to say unpredictable, piece on the board, but Decapompo is extremely predictable. It's just that he did stupid shit that was detrimental to you, so nipping that bud, early on probably saves him from headaches down the line.
他の者には決して気づかれてはならんぞ。しかし、デコポンポもつくづく人望のないやつよ。
Oh yeah, he was an impressive loser.
配下の無質界と調教師どもがことごとくこちらに寝返ったのだからな。
先の賭博戦の騒ぎで随分と叱責され、不満が溜まっていたようです。
日頃の行いがたたったということか。
来光様。
The Tiri la Lalai? Tiri Lalai? That's a tricky one. Lia Tiri Lalai. A fucking tongue twister. Attendant standing in the back of the room suddenly approaches
三
Raiko.
日月様に付き従うティリラライより連絡が
Alright,
入り
yeah,
ました。
Tiri Lalai.
三日月様が来光様との対話を望まれているとのこと。
今すぐつなげ。我が言葉を一言漏らさず伝え。
は
A secret conversation relayed via Tiri Lalai begins to take place.
三日月よ、すでに報告は聞いている。ご苦労だ。
Alright, just being telepathy telephones.
オシュトルを討ち取れず勝手にエンナカムイより引いたこと、すべてはこの俺の失態。どのような罰も受ける所存。
こたびの遠征、エンナカムイ討伐を許可はしたが、それはあくまで名目上のこと。貴様への命は本来、オシュトルの真意を確かめ、独断専行したデコポンポ軍を抑えることだったはず。
You probably only picked up a couple
オ
stragglers,
シュト
if
ル
I
と戦
imagine.
い、
The people
敗
that
走した
broke
デ
like
コポン
early
ポ軍
on.
を傘下に収めたのなら、すでに貴様は責務を果たしている。
だがそれでは
Your goal wasn't to win.
貴様の責は問わぬ。また挽回の機会も与えぬ。
兄じゃよ、一度は兵を引いたがこのままにはしておけぬ。いずれ奴は
決着を急ぐな。貴様には帝都を守る責務がある。目先のことより今は対局を考えて行動せよ。
You're asking a lot of the guy.
それは我が
He's
使
got
命
like
と
two
して
brain
重
cells,
々
dude.
承知している。だが兄じゃよ、
くどいぞ。俺を煩わせるな。兵をまとめ、急ぎ帝都へ戻れ。ティリリャライよ、通話を打ち切れ。話はここまでだ。
The Tiri Lalai agent ends the transmission as ordered, stepping once again to the back of the room, waiting in silence until needed.
よろしいのですか。三日月様は何か言いたげでしたが。
It probably wasn't wise, but Raiko is a bit of a dickhead,
オ
so
シュトルとの再戦を願い出るつもりなのだろう。だが、今のエンナカムイを力押しで落とそうなどとは愚の骨頂。奴は骨の髄までもののふ、ゆえに公敵手との
your
戦
best
い
bet
に
in
こだわ
beating
る。
them is to kind of let them, break containment, so to say, spread out, and then while they're, dispersed,
目
then get
先の
them.
ことにとらわれていては、
The
まだ
force is
一
too
流の武
concentrated
人
in
と
an
は言えぬ。
advantageous position. Like, there's not much you can do.
では今後の取り次ぎは不要と。
奴に言い分があるのなら、帝都に戻ってから聞けばよい。
これ以上話を続けてこちらの腹を探られるのは避けねばならんからな。我らの姫殿下は奥の院で静養中。政務をこの来皇に一任され、朝廷にはめったにお出ましにならぬ。お前にはそのように演じてもらった後、元のそば使いに復帰させた。
Ah, that's how it is. All right.
朝廷内からは姫殿下の姿は書き消え、正体がバレる恐れもなくなったというわけだ。だがこのような
I
小細工
would have expected,
三日月は内心を面白く思っておらぬだろう。
a bit more, convoluted of a explanation, but I guess just throwing a pretty boy in a dress and some makeup is good enough for the people.
以前のように気安く交わるわけにはいかぬ。
At least let me go back. That is what he implied, yeah? She's appointed to these regions, disappearing. You served a role in enabling that, being the decoy princess. Yup. All right. Thank you for expositing that directly for me, the reader, to someone who knows, and with you having basically no reason to say it, except for to, pat yourself on the back about your masterful gambit.
そうでした。
Which is entirely something he would do. Fucking stroke himself off about his master plans in front of everybody and about how smart he is. Reiko turns to the war table, leaving the subject of Mikazuchi behind.
おしとるよ。姫殿下の布告を大和中に発し、小競り合いにも勝利した。だがこたびの戦で、貴様は2つの過ちを犯した。
発注省の中でも名門貴族のデコポンポ様を殺害したこと、そして左近衛大将の三日月様と戦ったことですね。
Are you not allowed to use the masks without the Mikado's permission or something?
いつの時代も真実にたどり着けるものは一握りだ。
The Decapompo one will, make him look bad in the eyes of the court, I imagine, because if it's anything like how, I don't want to draw too many comparisons to medieval European warfare, because making the one-to-one comparison from feudal Japan to medieval Europe is too simplistic and it doesn't cover enough nuance. But essentially for nobility, you just capture them alive and either ransom them back to their family for money or use them as political, chips to bargain with to get you to negotiate terms. So it's not gonna make you many friends back in the royal court if once they realize, oh, if you lose, they're just gonna fucking kill you. How about we stick with these guys who, let us keep doing our political nobility nonsense instead of dying.
おしとるよ。こたびの戦、大和の皆にはどのように伝わるであろうな。
エンナカムイに友好的だった諸国も失望し、軽蔑することでしょう。
これでエンナカムイの包囲網は労せずに完成し、奴は孤立を深め、非下の兵もろとも干上がることになる。
間もなく勝利の高揚から一転し、失意の底へと沈むのですね。
I mean, unless they just decide that they don't like you more, that's entirely possible.
さておしとるよ。
You're a bit of a dickhead,
どこまで耐えられる。
and everyone knows it.
抗ってみせるか。せいぜい。
Yeah, it's unfortunate about what happened to Decapompo, but really, we can ignore a couple things.
真実はどうあれ、戦の顛末は大和全域にわたってこのように伝播した。
Alright, what's their version of events?
デコポンポ将軍は真偽も定かでない姫殿下の布告なる者に大層心を痛め、
and Oshtor's
オシトル
rebellion
の真
brutally
意を正す
slaughtered
べく
him.
密かに使節団を率いエンナカムイまで出向いた。しかし秦将を携えた使節団に対しエンナカムイ軍はあろうことかガウンジを放ち、デコポンポ将軍と 副官ボコイなんてを惨
All right,
殺。
that's a good way of spinning it.
あまりの暴挙に驚いた三日月将軍が急ぎ駆けつけ諌めようとしたものの、オシュトルは
Yes,
聞く
Oshtor
耳
is
を持
nothing
た
more
ず
than a
アクル
savage
カを用い
beast
て
now.
追い払った。この一連の事件はエンナカムイの惨劇として全ヤマトに衝撃を与えた。名門貴族を騙し討ちにしたことで朝廷内でオシュトルに同情的だった貴族たちも離反することとなり、さらにアクルカをこのように用いたこともモノノフの名を汚す行為としてことさらに非難を集めた。オシュトルの名声が地に落ちるとともに
Yep.
姫殿下の布告は疑わしいものへと変わり、
Is this all just
So
a
tight
greedy
moves
power
now.
play from Oshtor?
それを踏まえてヤマトはエンナカムイの周辺諸国に向け密かに国交の断絶を要請した。大公の策は聖地を極め、エンナカムイの運命は風前の灯火であったが、
Hey,
重傷
Kuan,
を負った
you
悪
mind
魔は
you mind
事
swooping
態
in?
の深刻さに気づくのはかなり先のこととなった。
Ooh, boy's been in bed rest for a while, huh? All right, little tiny time skip. Someone is calling me.
マロ
The soothing, amiable voice, warm and pleasant.
マロマロ
Nothing would cause Marudo to forget its sound, and yet it seems distant, faded.
何してんだマロ。そんなとこにいるならこっちに来たらどうだ。
よほマロと呼んでくれるでおじゃるか。ハク殿はそうでおじゃるか。
Is Marudo just hanging out in the woods being sad, you know, turning into like a mountain hermit? You know, mourning the loss of his like heterosexual life partner Haku.
何か困ったことはないでおじゃるか。もしあれば遠慮なく言ってほしいでおじゃる。
もしよかったらだがマロも手伝ってくれないか。
仕方ないでおじゃるな。親友の頼みは断れないでおじゃる。承知、マロに任せるでおじゃるよ。ところで肝心のボロギギリをどうやって誘い出すでおじゃ
Are
るか。
we just like, just as we got the big plot refresh in the very beginning, are we, you know, refreshing everybody on how, what good of friends, you know, these two are? And why it's so sad that Marudo is, you know, forced away by his conflicting, you know, inner turmoil.
ぶちかませ。
ほにょ
あの呪法ってやつを全力でボロギギリにぶちかませ。うまくいけばあいつだけ釣り上げることができる。
マロなでおじゃるか。
他に誰がいるんだ。急げ。グズグズしたからおとりになった連中が食われる羽目になる。
しかしそんなことをしたらマロに向かってくるのではおじゃらぬか。
心配するな。そのために自分たちがいる。
ハク殿、そうでおじゃるよ。友を真実して何を
Yes,
信じ
what
る
what
と
a
いうのでお
noble,
じゃる。
reliable man.
わかったでおじゃる。やるでおじゃるよ。今回大活躍できたのはハク殿のおかげでおじゃるよ。
別に礼を言われるようなことはしていないが。
またまた謙虚なお人でおじゃる。
So virtuous.
ハク殿はマロの心の友でおじゃる。
You know, his heart swells and sings to call you a friend.
名家だったのは昔の話でおじゃるよ。散財と引き換えに身についた生きていくには何の役にも立たない技でおじゃる。
Yeah, yeah, we know your family sucks.
そんなことないだろう。使った金の分ちゃんとマロの身についているってことだろう。それならただの散財じゃなくて立派な財産だ。
ハク殿、 そんなことを言ってくれたのは白殿だけでおじゃる。
そりゃ
He was your light in the darkness of your debt-ridden, you know, shitty in-law life.
大げさではないでおじゃる。
Though I guess they were just like your regular parents. I
マロは今
don't
まで
think Marta was married.
僕つぶしと散々あざけられてきたのでおじゃる。一年発起して学士になるまでマロ自身に財産なんて一つもなかったのでおじゃる。マロは
All right, we are just doing like everything.
ほらこれで涙を拭け。
かたじけないでおじゃる。
ほらもう行けって置いてかれるぞ。
それは分かっているでお
Yep,
じゃ
go on your
る。
little campaign.
今回の遠征は海を渡った異国の地。当分の間は戻ってこられないとなると。
I know, and he won't be there to rub your back when you're hanging off the side of the boat, puking your guts out.
何はどうあれお前は災害士なんだ。胸を張って言ってこい。
分かったでおじゃる。でも白殿名残惜しいでおじゃるか。
ああまたな。くれぐれも無茶なことはするなよ。いくら手柄を立てたところで死んでしまっては元も子もないからな。帰ったらウコンたちも誘ってまたみんなで酒でも飲むか。
やっぱり白殿はマロの心の友でおじゃる。
And you guys never really got the
な
chance
あ
to.
鼻水垂らしたまま抱きついてくるな。
死んだ。白殿のシトル殿。
You can still feel the bond in your hearts. You know he's not dead.
嘘でおじゃる。
You know, deep in your
嘘で
soul.
おじゃる。そんなはず。嘘に違いないでおじゃる。白殿。白殿。死ぬはずか。死ぬはずか。白殿が死んだはずがないでおじゃる。
The sudden pain of stumbling and falling snaps Maruto back from the brink, restoring his lucidity for a moment.
雨冷たい。今のものにはちょうどいいでおじゃる。白殿。お一人殿。マロはどうすれば我が元に下れでおじゃるか。
But they just don't feel right.
お一人殿。お一人殿。仲間になり、白殿のそれを望んでいる。マロにそれを信じろ。
Yeah, yeah, totally.
無理でおじゃる。マロにはそんな資格がないでおじゃる。なぜマロはそこにいなかったでおじゃる。お一人殿がマロならできたかもしれないでおじゃる。
It make me feel real bad for Maruto, huh? Like he's real fucking broken up about this. The rain relentlessly pelts Maruto's weeping face, drops covering large swaths of his running makeup. Alright, you're losing it, you're in the denial phase.
そうじゃるな。そんな平気でもないことあるわけないでおじゃる。やっぱり勘違いだった。お一人殿が白殿を見捨てるわけが。
It's a little early to be going, like, actually crazy, Maruto.
そうでおじゃるな。このままでは泥だらけになってしまうでおじゃる。すまぬでおじゃる。 なんだか安心して腰が抜けたでおじゃるよ。
You're probably hypothermic.
悪だな。手を貸してほしいでおじゃる。もうすまないでおじゃる。
But Maruro's outstretched hand meets only empty air. No, Storm is going through it, bud. Now, you're not being fair. You know it. Just blame Decapompo. It's all his fault. Losing all will to stand, Maruro curls into a tight ball on the forest floor, letting sorrow take him as the rain continues to fall. Amidst the storm, footfalls interrupt Maruro's lamentations, stirring him from his grief. With the last vestiges of hope he can muster, he asks the words of the footsteps owner.
マロロさん、お迎えに上がりました。
Maru, you finally?
I couldn't quite, determine the voice over the sound of the rain. It sounded a bit like Ogi, someone of, Let me see if I can play it again with,
マロロ様、お迎えに上がりました。
No, it wasn't Ogi. Just random voice, apparently.
おはよう。お目覚めですか？
I mean, you say morning, it's clearly the middle of the night. I dare to ease my eyes open and find a familiar ceiling hanging over me, as well as the twins' faces peering down.
どうやら自分の部屋か。気を失う前の記憶が曖昧だが。
Yeah, you did kind of get like magic needles stuck in your brain through like your skull. Understandable if you're a bit jarred.
待ってて。他の方々に知らせてまいりますから、それまでどうか。
Ooh, it might be a bit early for that. They promptly rush out of the room before I can ask for clarification. Outside my window, shouting, clamorous voices busily call to one another, and I can hear the telltale impacts of tools against stone. My eyes wander over a candle near me, and the light makes me squint. I try to shield my eyes, but my arm refuses to move. Instead, it throbs in pain.
まるで筋肉がちぎれ、関節に釘でも刺しているようだ。
Just a big old sack filled with pulled pork.
だが、痛みを感じるということは生きている。まだこの身が動くのであれば戦える。
Alive may be a strong word. Fight is a bit of a stretch.
自分の不在はこのエンナカムイに危機を招く。我が身の健在を示し、士気を高めねば。
Try as I might to get up, however, my body seems to have different ideas, as though thick ropes hold it fast to the bed.
頭が割れ。なんだ。
Yep, that's the worst. There's nothing you can do, because it's inside your skull. I managed to twist my body around it and haul myself out of bed, but that's all I can do. My brain's sending orders my muscles just refuse to follow.
兄様、まだ起きてはダメなのです。
猫ね。
Can't you just like dump healing spells on us? I didn't notice her come in until I needed rescuing. She pulls me upright, then does her best to help me back to bed, taking it slowly.
悠長に休んでいるわけには。
幸い三日月様は兵を引いてくれましたです。こちらも混乱しているですが、もっと下にいる者たちを信じてほしいのです。あちらの兵もすでに国境を越えて再び仕掛けてくるにしても今すぐということはないのです。
そうか、退けることができた。
Yeah, just barely.
いや、
Yeah, that's more like it.
見逃してもらったと言うべきか。
でも今回はしのいで。
Yeah, that was close. That was really close.
こんなことそう何度も続けてられないのです。
Anxiety furrows Nekane's
や
brow.
はり押しとるたる者がこの低たらくでは。
Takes all the strength I can muster to shift my arm so my hand lies atop
何
Nekane's.
も心配するなと言っても、この低たらくでは不安にしかならないだろうが。
I give a wry smile.
兄様、この戦勝ち目はあるのですか？
Yeah, there's a chance. It's not a very good one.
あるとはいえ、だがないわけではない。
It's gonna look a lot better once Kuon, swoops in for the rescue, but
いかなる結末になろうと、いや、我らが求む結果はただ一つだ。最初からな。
こんな無理を続けて。
Nekane grasps my hand in hers.
今回は三日月様だから見逃してもらえたので。
Oh, it's still only that same day? Nice. We haven't lost much
次
time
は
at
こん
all.
な傷では済まないかもです。
そうかもしれぬ。次はもっとうまくやらねばな。
Yeah, we'll work on our technique a bit.
心配いらぬ。最近なんとなくわかるようになってきたのだ。
We'll have to do some sparring with Atui. Get used to being like hit by a dump truck.
奴が何を考え、何をなそうとしていたか。次はもっといつかは奴と同じように。
ダメなのです。
猫ね。
Nekane stands suddenly
どうした急に。
because she's like, well, that's exactly what got him killed. So if you're any more like him, you're just gonna die too. Unable to rise from bed, I watch as Nekane nears my bedside and pinches a corner of the blanket. Before I can object, she raises the blanket and slides into bed next to me.
これは甘えてるのではないのです。
It's more like she's on top of you. With awkward, uncertain slowness, she rests her body against mine. I welcome the pleasant warmth despite her stiffness.
兄様が眠るまで添い寝してあげるです。
猫ね。
Mixed concern and bashfulness flicker across her expression, eyes downcast.
本当にどうしたのだ。
わからないのです。気づかなかったのです。気づこうともしなかったのです。兄様が兄様であるほど
Mm-hmm.
白さんがいなくなってしまうことに。なのに私は自分のことばっかりで。
Yeah, feeling a bit bad about it, huh? You're like, oh fuck. It's like I don't want Haku to like cease existing.
一番辛い思いをしているのは
Like that's just cruel to like him and me.
いいさ。自分で選んだことだ。
もし兄様が戦いを捨てて遠くに逃げても
Intermittent. Yeah, that's a good way to
私は
describe it.
見送るしかできないのです。だから兄様がここに残ってくれるなら私のできることは何でも。
Admitting this must be hard for her. I can tell she's tensing up against me.
自分にできることを正確には分かってないんだろうな。
She's a little loser. Letting out a low breath, I wrap my arms around her tiny frame and hug her
お前
close.
には苦労ばかりかける。心配いらない。猫根を置いて勝手にどこかへ行くような真似はせぬよ。
I squeeze her tightly.
だから猫根はただ それがしの世話を見守っていればいい。だから今日はそれがしを温めてくれ。きっと傷にもいいだろう。
Yeah, like a hot water bottle. Nekane burrows more deeply, more comfortably into the blankets. I allow my eyes to fall shut, focusing only on the soft, warm presence beside me. Even though she's on top of you, but she opens her mouth as if to say something, then pauses, hesitating.
おやすみなさい、兄様。
おやすみ、猫ね。
Several days have passed. My aches and pains have subsided enough for me to get up and walk around, finally. I haven't fully recovered, but I can at least get back to work and slowly start catching up. By the time I finally awaken in the morning, my body feels heavy and sluggish.
ここのところの執務続きのせいか。いや、傷がまだ治っていないせい
Yep,
も。
you gotta work on your posture. Just remind myself to straighten my back so I'm not hunched over as much. I took a pretty bad beating from Mikazuchi. I was halfway expecting to never be able to stand up again after that nightmare.
こうしていられるだけでも儲けものか。
But the longer I lie in bed, the more the ceiling above begins to feel strange and uncomfortable to lay beneath, like an unfamiliar inn.
昔はよく深酒して寝坊してクオンにどやされたよな。
That was when I was Haku, when others gathered around the hapless man by that name.
うじうじ考えてても仕方がないな。
I forced myself up from the bed, with some
ま
difficulty.
た着替えずに寝てしまったか。そういえばアクルカもかぶったままだ。
Can you even take it off? Or is it, those needles wedging in, is it like fused to your skull? I'm pretty sure that's how it was with like Hakuolo. Like it was just essentially like attached to his, like, his forehead. As I begin to undress myself for the day, I realize something unsettling.
傷がない。
The cuts and bruises I took from Mikazuchi are all gone. Pristine, unbroken skin left in their place, as though nothing had ever happened. More unsettling than that, however, is the dull pressure in my head, shifting and pulsing like no headache I've ever had. Each throb of my own heartbeat seems to draw some kind of power from me, feeding the uncomfortable
これ
presence.
もアクルカの力なのか。
Can you talk to it?
アクルカの種類やそのものの適性によって
Is it
力
like
の発現
Siri
に
in your
違いがある
phone?
ことは知って
Like
いる。だが
you can, but like in your subconscious? Or I guess if you'd be able to talk to it, it'd be more your just your consciousness? I don't know, weird. Let's not get too far into that. As a weird train of thought.
オシトルのアクルカにどんな力があるかまだ正確に把握
Yeah,
でき
you got a
てい
healing
ない。
factor now. Nice. Wandering, I reach to pull the Akuruka off my face so I can inspect it.
外れん。
The Akuruka isn't budging.
顔を洗えないのは地味に困るな。
Well, not even Oshtor got it that bad.
この
Worming my fingers under the mask's porcelain-like edges, I try to pry it off. Yep, it's kind of pulling your face with it.
無理は厳禁。それ以上は顔の肉ごと剥がれてしまいます。
Turning towards the familiar voices, I find Ururu and Sarana watching me with vested
お
interest.
前たちしかしだなこれでは多少不便ではないか。
Is there like a button or a latch I need to push?
それは使用。おそらく主様の求めに応じ、力をより効率よく引き出すために、
We were that
アクル
desperate.
カは一体化したのだと思われます。
一体か。いやしかし三日月や宗近はアクルカを外していたではないか。
they, I guess, were never that desperate where they had to draw so much power from it.
当然彼らは仮初めの適合者。もとよりアクルカはオンビ大火ヤンのために作られました。
Sure.
アクルカが人間のための。そうか。元は人間を救うために研究されていたもの。その延長線上の技術だとしたら。
Ah, good old Iceman.
だからそれが本来の形。アクルトゥルカと呼ばれし者でも主様の3割程度しか
Cool.
力を引き出せておりません。
3割か。
What about us?
その3割しか引き出せていない三日月と互角ですらないとは。
Nope. He's just way better at using it more efficiently.
それだけ三日月は基本となる部分が桁違い。
Also that.
だとすると、アクルカの力を得て三日月と渡り合うためには
His like level 1 stats are the same as your like level 50 stats.
まあ、これも当然の報いだな。
I smile self-deprecatingly.
力を使うにつれ、アクルカが自己を蝕む。だとしたら、その先にあるもの。
Yep, don't think about that too much. Footsteps approach from the hallway, interrupting my train of thought.
神様、入ってもよろしいです。
ああ。
神様、おはようございます。
おはよう、猫ね。
What's up? For some reason, Nekane peers into my face deeply.
どうした？それがしの顔に何かついているか？
いえ、何も。
Okay.
いつも通りの兄様です。
そうだ。元より素直に戻る気など
You
な
know,
い。
it just, it makes it less likely to slip up. Don't gotta worry about tripping and having it fall off and everyone just look over and be like, oh fuck, that's Haku. You're like sealed in the suit. Now it's like that FNAF thing.
少し話があるのじゃ。
Springtrap? Is that it? I'm like very unversed in the FNAF lore. I played the first game, and that was it. I'm like, yep, that was a spooky kind of like resource management game where I had to close the door and like manage the cameras and the power, and that's all it was for me. I didn't get into like the deep lore, play any of the sequels or anything. I'm just like, yep, jump scare game. That was fun. All right, moving on.
正常。
The door slides open before I can even formulate a response.
やはりここにおったか。
正常、病から回復されたとはいえ、もう少し休まれていては。
よい、もうすっかり元気じゃ。ほれ、この通り。
Are you gonna do like a handstand? Anju brushes Kiryu off, performing a sudden acrobatic flip as she enters the room. All right, I was close. I know her type.
まだ不安か？ならば見ておれ。
Was it like a standing flip? Because those are impressive. Anju crouches by a giant vase in the corner of the room, wider than her waist at its broadest, and begins to lift. Kiryu is distressed.
いけません。そのような大きなものを抱えられてはお体に。
Yeah, don't throw your back out. She promptly lifts the entire piece of earthenware over her head. As though to prove her point, Anju begins performing full squats with the face overhead. Kiryu looks fit to begin frothing at the mouth.
自分なら間違いなく腰がいってた。
Oh yeah. I've hurt my back on some lifts before. Don't recommend it.
さすが。
Fortunately, I was young at the time,
帝
so
の光景として
it was just kind of like a
兄貴
week
に
of
生み出され
soreness
た
without
存在。
any,
普通ではないだろうと
lingering
思ってい
effects
たが
that I probably won't find out about until I'm like 55. But yeah, if I did that right now, I'd be cooked.
以前湯飲みを握りつぶしていたし、なかなかとして侮れんものがあるな。
Yeah, as a frontline fighter. Make her a big DPS damage dealer, big sword type like Carla or Atui. Either way, a smile splits my face as seeing Anju restored to health at long
どうや
last.
ら王女さんもすっかり元気になったようだ。聖女、そろそろお戯れをおやめください。今茶と菓子を用意させましょう。
それはただず。あ、いや、今日は遊びに来たわけではないのじゃ。
Uh-huh.
と申しますと。
Then what are you here for? Anju fixes me with a serious look.
オヒトル、そなたに世の頼みを聞いてもらいたいのじゃ。
正常の望みとあらば何なりと。してその頼みとは。
実はな、世は市政の民の暮らしを見てみたいのじゃ。
Do you want to go like incognito, or have it be like a royal tour kind of thing?
民の暮らしを一体何の気まぐれだ。しかし王女さんの元気な姿を民に見せることは皆の信頼を厚くするだろう。わかりました。ではすぐに腰の用意をいた
If
し
you
ましょ
go
う。
with us, there's like no shot of being incognito.
キュール、
はい、すぐに手配いたします。
I begin to send Kiryu to carry out the princess's will, but Anju stops us both.
待て待て、違うのじゃ。
は、違うと申されますと。
帝都から落ち延びてきた世をこの国の民は快く受け入れてくれた。世はそのことに心から感謝しておる。世はここの民のことを知らぬ。
Mm-hmm.
何も知らぬのじゃ。
Yeah, this is the fucking boonies, dog.
正常。
You'd have no reason to.
だからこの国の民に報いるにはまず民の生活を知らねばならぬ。じゃから腰はいらぬ、お供も不要じゃ。この目と手で
Alright.
直に民の暮らしに触れねば意味がないのじゃ。
Anju looks down at the floor in embarrassment as she finishes speaking, and I feel a swell of pride for this girl rise in my chest.
自らの目と肌から民を滑る者としての自覚と責任が、王女さんの心に確実に芽生えている。
Making progress.
国を背負って立とうとする意気込みは我らにとっても心の支えとなり、見事なお心がけかと。
そうか。
では早速その支度を。キュール、護衛の陣線を。
I adjust my instructions to Kiryu as I rise to leave.
ダメなのです。それにはまだいろいろと問
Ah,
題が。
it's fine. Nekane, silently observing until now, suddenly pipes up. I slowly seat myself again.
問題。
何がダメなのじゃ。ただ街を歩いて家々や店の様子を覗かせてもらうだけじゃと思うが。
I mean, it'll surely cause a massive scene.
姫殿下は帝の後継者なのです。そんな方が街を歩いていたら、みんな驚いて萎縮してしまうのです。
確かに。
Yeah.
そうなると正常に本当の暮らしを見せようとせず隠してしまうかもしれませんね。
なんじゃと。本当の暮らしがわからんのでは、世も何をどう判断すればいいのかわからんではないか。
It's complicated.
世はただ民の暮らしを知りたいと思っているだけなのじゃが。
Anju's head droops, her previous enthusiasm for her plan beginning to deflate.
私たちが正常の希望に添えるよう市政の民の暮らしぶりを調べるの
No,
は
that's
いかが
missing
でし
the
ょうか。
point.
それでは紙の上のおとぎ話と変わらぬではないか。世は自分の目や耳で感じてみたいのじゃ。
正常。確かにキウルや猫根の言葉はもっともだが、
Yeah, just do the shit Ukon used to do.
実際見聞きし、そして経験したことは
You know, just like
知り得る以上のこと。
tie her hair in a bun, throw her in like a big hat and some glasses,
とはいえ、
some baggy clothes.
こっそり見るのもダメなのか。
お忍びという形で街に出られるとしても護衛のものは必要になりま
Yeah,
すし、
the incognito, and then it's just a group of, our squad
護衛の人たちに囲まれながら人の家を覗
who
いて
would
い
be
たら
familiar sights at this point, and, the townspeople would have spoken and interacted with them and be like, oh, it's just those guys. Like, I doubt they'd really put on airs for any of them. Except, like, Luditita. I'd imagine they'd mind their manners, but not like someone like Anju going around.
いいえ、隠れて見ているのでそのように見えるというだけで。
世が不審者。
ならばどこか数箇所に絞り込めばどうだ。 正常のご希望すべてに応えることはできませんが、民の暮らしだけを見るのであればそう難しくはないかと。
本当か？
What you got?
はい。街を歩くのではなく、適当な民家へ直接赴き、その生活を体験なさ
Oh,
る
you want to go to our house?
というのはいか。
You want to meet our mom? Anshu's eyes sparkle eagerly at the suggestion.
しかし正常が訪問するとなれば上辺だけを取り繕われる恐れがありますが。
Well, good thing I know someone that's fucking blind.
いや、正常には変装してもらい、
Yeah.
その正体を
Also
告
that.
げずに入らせ
You
て
don't
も
want
ら
the
えば
neighbors
よい。
gossiping.
警備の者たちはその家には入らず、家の周囲をそれとなく守る。場合によっては、それがしが正常についていよう。
それでも正体を明かさず理由も話さなければ、
Mhm.
やはり怪しまれると思いますが。
それにお忍びであればなおのこと視覚に襲われないよう。
Oh, gee, if only there was one, like, super specific, thing that could fit this criteria.
やはり誰にも知られず、市政の暮らしを体験するというのは難しいか。信頼のおける者の家で。
Alright, come on, bud. Come on. I was able to figure it out in like 2 seconds.
そのような都合のいい家が簡単に見つかるはず。
Yep, there we go. Suddenly, the pieces click together in my head.
身近にあるじゃないか。信頼でき、家に入る理由があり、そして周辺に警備の兵がいてもおかしくない家が、それがしに心当たり。
誠か？
You want to meet our mom?
ただし正常にはかなりの負担を強いることになるやもしれませんが。
構わぬ。世は民の生活を実感したいのじゃ。
Yeah, see what it's really like to, like,
もせねばというであろう。
not live in squalor, but to have a fairly, I don't know how to describe it. Like, basic is not the right word, but,
ご立派な心がけかと。それでは
plebeian,
明日にで
a
も参
very
りましょう。
plebeian means of existence, and not like in the like a derogatory use of the word plebeian, but like an actual, like citizen pleb of the empire kind of thing,
期待しておるぞ。
versus like an aristocrat. Anju nods with a degree of finality, then turns to leave. Nekane, meanwhile, gives me an uneasy expression as she turns to me.
兄上、本当に大丈夫なのですか？
ああ、大丈夫だ。
兄様、一体どこへ姫殿下を
Oh,
連
come
れて
on,
行こうと
Nekane,
い
you're
う
a
ので
smart
す。
girl. Put it together yourself.
安心するとよい。猫ねもよく知っているところだ。
私も？
ああ、とてもな。
Yep, don't overthink it.
母上、お久しゅうございます。
久しぶりだなんて。ついこの間来たばかりではなくて。
そうでしたか。
I mean, it was only a couple days ago, but
オシュトルは今忙しい身だものね。
いえ、母上のことを忘れるなどありませぬ。
hopefully no one told her that we got beaten half to death by Mikazuchi. That'd be
けれども、
embarrassing.
そんな忙しいあなた
Also,
が
don't want her worrying.
今日は一体どうしたの？
はい。母上のお体が気になりまして。
あらまあ、そんなことのために？
I mean, maybe some other stuff too,
そ
but
んなことではありませぬ。子が母を心配するのは当然のこと。何か不自由な思いをしているのではないかと。
不自由だなんて。近所の方が時折手伝いに来てくださいますし、他ならぬ我が家ですもの。目が不自由でも不便に感じ
I mean,
た
it's
こ
not
と
like there's
なん
much
てあ
clutter
り
you
ま
gotta
せん
worry
ね。
about tripping over.
ですが、やはり誰かそばにいた方がよろしいのでは。
As if on cue, a figure appears in the shadows of the door frame behind me, and I beckon her forth.
そこの者、ここへ。
The diminutive figure approaches, dressed in the typical garb of the castle chambermaids, her head held low.
この方は？
しばしの間、この者を母上にお付けしたいと思うのですが。
On hearing the request, Mother giggles wryly.
そういうことなのね。
は、
こんなにも気を回すなんて、母の心配以外にも何か理由があるのではないかしら。
Because we're kind of asking you for a favor.
すべてお見通しですか。
母だもの。
察しがいい。やはり母にはかなわないか。
But I planned for this. I recite a practice line, falling back on the excuse we concocted on the way here.
実はこの女官、ゆえあって新しく入ったばかりなのです。
Yeah, you know, needs to kind of, you know, get some practice under her belt, you know. I was thinking of like a figure of speech that involved teeth, but I don't know what I was thinking because my brain doesn't work because I'm tired. Anyway, yeah, she needs some practice, but we can't have her fucking around in the castle. So, you mind letting her scrub the floors here and, you know, kind of learn domestic life stuff?
ですが経験もなく、いきなり宮中で働かせるわけにもいかず、少しばかり経験を積ませたく。
Cut her teeth. There we go. That's what I was thinking of.
あらあら、やっぱりそういうことだったのね。
ありがとうございます。
せっかくの息子の頼みなのですもの。いいですよ。その子
Squinting.
はしばら
Oh,
く
you're still going.
母が預かりましょう。
Squinting through a hazy vision, Mother does her best to look the chambermaid over.
お顔はよくわからないのだけれども、なんだか可愛らしい雰囲気の方ね。お名前は何というのかしら。
Mm-hmm. Let's see what Paparanju looks like. The maid bows deeply, blurting out a response.
その新しく宮中に召し抱えられた女官のアンなのじゃ。よろしくお願いするぞ。
Damn, showing a lot of midriff, huh? What they got you guys wearing over there? From this angle, it's clear as day that the maid in question is Princess Anju.
ほらほら、そこはもう少し丁寧に拭かないと。
こうか？
Anju's lessons begin with cleaning.
ダメよ。ここはこ
う。目が不自由と聞いていたが、さすがオシトルの小ボドは侮れんのじゃ。
Anju quickly learns that despite her rapidly advancing blindness, Torikori's other senses have more than sharpened to accommodate. She seems to be able to tell how dirty a surface is simply by swiping the pad of a thumb across it, and can tell how hard Anju works by sound alone.
王女さんも決して手を抜いているわけではない。しかし、慣れない仕事だ。
ほら、早く拭かないと布巾が乾いちゃうわよ。
掃除というのは思いのほか重労働なのじゃな。
So be nice to the house cleaning staff and leave a tip.
あらあら、何を言っているのかしら。仕事は他にもあるのだから、掃除くらいさっと終わらせないと日が暮れちゃうわ。
We gotta cook.
何？これ以外にも仕事があるのか？姿勢の生活とはそれほどまでに時間に追われるものなのか。
ええ。お掃除の次は水を汲んできて、夕げの準備を
Well, at
始め
least
ない
she's
と。
strong as a fucking ox, so she'll have no problem, you know, catching
夕げ？
or fetching
日
water.
はまだあんなにも高いのにか？
Gotta start early.
水を汲んで食材を下ごしらえして、それから柔らかくなるまでじっくり煮炊きしたら、出来上がる頃にはもう夕刻だもの。それにアンはこうしたことには慣れていないみたいだから、もっと時間がかかるん
Doesn't
じ
just
ゃないかし
magically
ら。
appear in a plate in front of you. You know, someone's got to do the prep
も
work.
しかしたら今日はご飯が食べられないかも。
そんな。
Anju slumps to the floor in defeat, which produces an amused chuckle from Mother. She lays a hand on the princess's shoulder.
頑張って。一 一段落ついたら美味しいおやつが待ってるから。
おお、誠か。
Anju snaps upright on hearing that, her mood instantly restored.
庭先になっている実はなんじゃ。あれはうまそうじゃのう。
あらあら、食いしん坊さんね。あれはまだ熟しきれて
I
ない
don't
か
think
ら
she'll mind.
今食べても渋いだけよ。
Little fucking garbage disposal will just hoover them up.
それは残念じゃ。しかしおやつは楽しみなのじゃ。水を汲んでくればよいのじゃな。
The next job that Anju undertakes is preparing a vegetable stew for dinner.
皮はもう剥けたかしら。
皮むきというのは
Yeah, she's more probably like taking chunks out of it instead of just peeling it.
あらあら、仕方がないわね。ほら、これは。
Yeah, you keep the knife in place and you kind of rotate the potato around it. She takes the vegetable from Anju's hand and peels it with a deft motion, skinning the whole thing in all but one stroke of the knife.
おお、なんと見事な。ごぼどうは目が不自由ではなかったのか。
すでに手が覚えているから。
Yep, years of
わ
practice.
かるのよ。あんもこれくらいできるようにならないとお嫁さんになるのは難しいかしら。
それは誠か。
そうね。
Mhm.
殿方を射止めるには胃袋を捕まえるのが一番なんだから。
Actually, it's through up and under the rib cage, near the diaphragm. With knife in hand, Anju regards the pile of unpeeled vegetables in a new light, and Torikori smiles.
ダメよ。そんなに力を入れたりしたら。ほら、野菜はこうして。
Mother puts her hand around Anju's smaller one, guiding her through the basics of kitchen knife work.
大事なのは真心を込めること。丁寧に丁寧に。
Yep, you gotta learn the basics first.
慣れてからでも構わないわ。
Once you can actually do it, then you can start getting quicker,
なるほどなのじゃ。
cutting out the inefficiencies. Anju moves the knife slowly, mimicking Mother's movements. Mother smiles approvingly.
初めてなのに筋がいいわね。息子のお嫁さんになってくれないかしら。
Har 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 har.
息子？それはオイスタルのことか？いや、しかし、いや、私
もしかしたら、
Mm-hmm.
他に誰か好きな方でもいるの？だったら残念だわ。
You hit the nail a little too close. And by that I mean directly on the head.
どうやらこちらが口を出す必要はなさそうだ。
I check up on Anju as I pretend to stroll around the yard, letting out a small sigh of relief as I spy her engrossed in her lessons. They almost look like mother and daughter from where I'm standing, up to their elbows in kitchen work like
こ
that.
の光景を見て彼女がヤマトの王女だと気づく者はどれほどいるだろうか。民の生活を知りたいか。同じ言葉でも程度にいた頃とは重みが違う。王女さんも成長している。
Yep. Not just eating potato chips and reading yaoi, getting into fights about it.
民をおもんばかるその心、使いがいがあるというものだ。
Sudden crash tears my thoughts back into reality. Anju's distressed call grabs my attention. It's a grief-filled cry, not the kind of sounds you make over little stuff. Without hesitating, I rush into the house, prepared for anything.
いかがなされた？
いや、私は大丈夫なのじゃ。じゃが。
What, you drop a fucking pot on her head? Anju sits on the floor uninjured, but she grasps Mother's hand with white knuckles, the elder woman prone on the floor next to her.
一体何が？
わからんのじゃ。その突然ごぼどうが倒れて。
Doing my best to calm Anju down and kneel beside her, trying to rouse Mother's attention.
母上。
おしたる。
Mercifully, Mother turns her head at the sound of my
怪
voice.
我はないようだ。意識もある。
Well, you get 2 left feet on top of being blind?
母上、いかがなされた？
ごめんなさいね。大丈夫よ。ちょっと
No, that's
立ち
not
くら
good.
みしただけだから。
立ちくらみですか？
How long you been getting those for?
ええ、
Mother nods weakly.
久しぶりに猫ねと娘と家事をしているみたいで、年がいもなくはしゃぎすぎてしまったみたい。
今日はもうお休みになられた方がよろしいでしょう。布団を引きますゆえ、しばしお待ちください。
As I try to rise and make for the closet, however, Anju grabs my sleeve.
オシトル。
いえ、あんたの。
いや、私は何をすればよいのじゃ。
I don't know, go get some water. Her eyes lock with mine, and I suddenly realize they're filled with tears. She's worried sick.
母上のことはそれがしがしますゆえ、あんたのは。
Anju likewise stands, closing the short distance between us with a passionate glare.
今はよ、私がオシトルのご母堂の世話役じゃ。私がやらねば意味がない。じゃから何でも私に命じてくれ。すべて許す。
Do a backflip. It will really rouse her spirits. Passion in her eyes leaves no room for hesitation.
お嬢さん、わかりました。ではあんたのは井戸で冷たい水を汲んできてもらいたい。
水じゃな。すぐに汲んでくるのじゃ。
Anju barrels out of the house, taking a bucket and making a break for the well at top speed. Mother smiles, listening to her receding footfalls.
可愛らしい方ね。
ええ。
Bit of a handful, though. I ease Mother down with some bedding as gently as I can, hanging my head sorrowfully.
すみません。こちらのお願いが逆に負担をかけてしまいました。
あなたも猫ねも忙しくて、やっぱり寂しかったのね。
申し訳ございません。これからはもう少し。
Yeah, when we're not getting into life or death, you know, fights for
いいの
survival.
よ。あなたはあなたのお役目を果たさないと。
本当に大丈夫なのじゃな。
ええ。もう楽になったから大丈夫。
Mother pats Anju's head reassuringly.
ともかく今は安静に。家のことはそれがしたちが引き受けますゆえ。
そうはいかないわ。家を守るのは母の務めだもの。
Oozily, Mother attempts to rise, but Anju puts a hand on her shoulder.
そなたは寝ておれ。後のことは、いや、ではなく、私とオシトルで何とかするのじゃ。
だけど、
私を娘と言うたじゃろ。ならば、しっかりと孝行せねばな。まずは夕げの支度じゃ。
Oh dear. I don't think Haku's that good of a cook either. The initial plan was just for one day, but soon enough, Anju begins visiting Mother and taking care of the house with her on a daily basis.
洗濯というのは思った以上に疲れるのじゃ。
Get scrubbing.
なあオシトル、釜の掃除というのはどうすればいいのじゃ。指切った。
Though she makes mistakes and pauses to ask for guidance often, Anju dutifully goes about her chores without complaint. The days fly by.
ほれ、私の作ったお吸い物じゃぞ。
Anju proffers a bowl of steaming soup to Mother, who lets out a small cry of proud joy at being presented with it.
あらまあ、この数日ですっかり家事が板についたのね。
当然じゃ。私にかかればこの程度どうってことないのじゃ。
して母上。
Yeah, not gonna, you know, get, you know, anime mother death sickness on us all of a sudden. Decide to let your hair down and put it into a side braid.
ええ、 もうすっかり平気。アンには
気にすることないのじゃ。
sorry, didn't mean to
これ
skip
も
over you.
私の務め。それで今日はあと何をすればよいのじゃ。掃除も洗濯も終わっておるし。
Yeah, Mom's just skipping all over him. Setting the bowl aside, Mother turns towards An, giving her a serious look.
いいえ、今日のあなたのお仕事はもうないわ。
Wait, you master all the skills you have to teach?
何？私は何かしくじったのか？何が良くなかったのじゃ？言ってくれ。今からやり直す。
いいえ、アンは料理も掃除も洗濯もとても上手よ。
Mm-hmm.
アン、あなたはここには修行で来られたのでしょ？
Yeah, you can't just hang out here all the time. You actually have to, like,
そろそろ
go do your job.
宮中のお仕事に戻った方がいいのではないかしら。アンにはもっと多くの人のためにしなければいけない大事な仕事があるのでしょ？
Did you piece it together?
しかし、
私はもう
I mean,
大丈夫。
she does speak in a very specific, dialect. It wouldn't be too hard for a smart woman like her to be like, I can see what Ostra is doing here. Mother's clouded eyes are filled with affection as she looks at Anju. It's not just motherly pride at seeing her leave the nest. It's something more.
まさか母上はもしかしてすでに王女さんのこと？
Maybe not the entire time, but I imagine she pieced it together fairly quickly, like within the first day.
忘れ物はない？
そのごぼどうを休ませてやることはあまりできなかったようじゃ。いろいろと迷惑をかけた。
いいえ、久しぶりに我が家が賑やかで楽しかったわ。
Mother presents her with a wrapped bundle.
これは何じゃ？
アンが一生懸命頑張ってくれたから、きっとご褒美に熟してくれたのね。よかったら食べてちょうだい。庭の子たちも喜ぶわ。
ごぼどう？
短い間だったけれども楽しかったわ。またいつでも
Yeah,
いらしてね。
anytime you need a break from all the princess courtly life business, you can come over here and pretend to be a housemaid.
またな。
Anju takes the bundle gratefully, then turns on her heel to
それ
go.
では母上、また近いうちに。
ええ、オシュトルも元気で。
By the time I catch up to Anju far ahead, we've left Mother in the distance, still lingering in the door, waving as she watches us go.
いい人じゃったな。
ええ、自慢の母です。
Anju's voice cracks as she speaks. I pretend to have heard nothing, simply watching her back from slightly behind as we walk. She opens the bundle Mother offered her, selecting one of the fruits within and biting into it.
うまいな。本当にうまい。
Yep, whatever mystery fruit it is, I'm sure it's great.
それはようございました。
とても良いことじゃ。
Try as she might to cover it, I can't help but detect a sniffle from Anju.
いつかまたごぼどうにお吸い物を作ってやりたいものじゃ。それまで元気でいるのじゃぞ。
Yeah, we'll be sure to pass that along. Your royal decree there. But, ladies and gentlemen, with that is where we'll be ending it here for today, because we're coming close to 2 hours, and I need to go to sleep soon. So, once again, I would like to thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring the notification bell, and check out the Discord link in the description down below. Become a member today, and I will see you all next time for the next episode of Utawarerumono, Mask of Truth, where we will advance the story somehow and see what happens, because we're kind of in a holding pattern right now until someone makes some kind of move. So, yeah. Catch you guys then. Later now. Bye-bye. Mwah.